My name is Jacob Gehring, and the book I'll be reading tonight is Casey at Bat by Gutman. I'm sure you've heard of Casey, the baseball world sensation, whose famous strikeout lost a game and stunned a hopeful nation. Well, if you think that tale was sad, sit down, let's have a chat, and I'll tell you all a story I call Casey Back at Bat. 'Twas the last game of the season, with Mudville tied for first. The players fought all summer for a pennant they did thirst. But Rutland shared the lead as well. The team stood face to face. To the victor, fame and fortune. To the loser, second place. With Mudville down three runs to one, it was the final inning. 2 men were on, but 2 were out. There seemed no hope for winning, yet they would not surrender. Their motto, never quit. Mighty Casey grabbed his bat. It was his turn to hit. His arms, his legs, his neck, his lips, his teeth had muscles too. They rippled from his little toe up to his eyes of blue. He sneered, he snarled at Mudville's foes, then threw the fans a smirk. Some ladies found him handsome, some thought he was a jerk. The pitcher hurled his fastball, a perfect strike, and then a fan yelled out, "Hey Casey, are you gonna whiff again?" The runners took their places. Once more the pitchers threw. He nipped the outside corner. The umpire cried out, "Strike 2. Again the pitcher gripped the ball and gave a forceful fling. Casey brought his bat back and decided he would swing. He swung so hard it sliced the air, it echoed, then it cracked. Then, when much to everyone's surprise, the ball our hero whacked. That shot might go 500 feet, one breacher creature reckoned. I showed him, cackled Casey as he rounded first and second. The Mudville fans began to cheer, a roar that started growing as they watched the ball go over the fence, and then it kept on going. It soared by hills and valleys, ever higher in the sky, past houses, farms, and villages, so swiftly did it fly. It crossed over the great Atlantic, where it almost struck a bird, but Casey didn't have a clue, for he was rounding third. In Italy, an artist thought he'd made his masterpiece with a painting of a tower and some flowers and some geese. He had to start all over when the baseball changed the scene, and this, you see, shows perfectly why leaning towers lean. In Egypt, 3 small children were engaged in some hijinks when a baseball zipping past knocked their nose right off their sphinx. It ricocheted to where they played and almost hit those kids, but instead it zoomed right by them and straight up to the pyramids. In India, 2 rhinos who were lolling in the pond looked up and saw this baseball flying across the great beyond. They ate their lunch and snorted, taking time to smack their lips, but they hardly seemed to notice up until the big eclipse. It flew so fast it raced through time, some 60 million years, to when T-Rex and the Stegosaurus roamed the hemispheres. The creatures were quite terrified, so underground they slinked, and now you know how dinosaurs in fact became extinct. In the depths of the outer space, an astronaut named Janet shrieked, "Eureka! I have found it! I've discovered a new planet." Her partner took a look and told her, "Janet, in your dreams, I've yet to see a planet sewn together at the seams. Meanwhile, back in Mudville, total strangers hugged and kissed. Casey crossed the plate and told reporters, "It's all in the wrist." He hadn't been this happy since the moment of his birth, but from the upper atmosphere, the ball returned to Earth. Now Dunn, the center fielder, had already left the ground, and left and left and right were chatting on the mound. But Mo, the little shortstop, saw a streak come from above. He raised his arm in self-defense. The ball plopped in his glove. Oh, somewhere in this crazy world, some kids are having fun. Some were telling knock-knock jokes, some skateboard in the sun. And somewhere kids eat hot dogs piled up high with sauerkraut. But there's still no joy in Mudville. Hard luck Casey has flied out.